From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update. Sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling.
I'm Hannah Mordeau with your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast. This is Monday, December 20th. Thanks for listening. It's a cold start to the day, but clear skies and sunshine is expected. If you're traveling for the holidays this week, nice and quiet conditions are also expected with a warm-up. In fact, our meteorologists say there's basically no chance for a white Christmas. Good for shopping, though. And the Colts, well, they'll be playing on Christmas. All eyes are on Arizona now after Saturday night's huge win over the New England Patriots. Now the team's focusing on what needs to be done to make the playoffs. The Colts are now the 5th seed in the AFC playoff picture and one game behind the Titans in the race for the division title. Last 3 games will decide everything. They play the Cardinals in Arizona on Christmas night. Arizona has lost 2 straight games. Then the Colts play the Raiders at Lucas Oil Stadium and the Jaguars in Jacksonville to close out the season. New this morning, a wounded man runs to a neighborhood for help after an early morning shooting and then dies. The shooting happened at around 2 o'clock on the west side of Indianapolis. Police say the man was shot in a house in a neighborhood near 38th and High School Road, then ran to a nearby house for help. Medics took him to the hospital, but he didn't make it. Police say a SWAT team came out to the house where the shooting happened. When no one would respond, officers tell us someone eventually came out and is cooperating. And another shooting early Sunday morning has left 3 men hurt. It happened downtown. IMPD says officers were called to East Market Street just after midnight. That is really close to Monument Circle. According to IMPD, 3 gunshot victims were found in a parking area near Wabash and Talbot Streets behind some businesses. Police say all 3 men are stable at last check. Now to the pandemic. For the first time, the Omicron variant of the coronavirus has been reported here in Indiana. According to the State Health Department, the variant was detected in an unvaccinated person who was tested back on December 9th. State Health Commissioner Chris Bach says the latest variant emphasizes the importance of getting vaccinated. That's in order to protect yourself against COVID-19 and others. The health department recommends taking some steps to do so. They say, again, get the vaccine and that booster shot. Wear a mask in public indoor settings and crowded outdoor settings. Get tested if you have symptoms or have been exposed to the virus. Stay home if you're sick. Wash your hands often and avoid crowds if possible. Virus, it's forcing the NBA to postpone several games. The largest outbreak is with the Cleveland Cavaliers. 5 players tested positive, halting plans for their game against Atlanta. It's one of 5 Sunday games that will have to be rescheduled. Players' union and the league say they have a plan in place to keep schedules going. A memo sent late last night says teams will have to be able to sign a replacement player for each player who has the virus. The virus is shaking up hockey, too. League's calling off games between Canadian and American teams and banning cross-border travel till at least Thursday, when the league goes on a 3-day holiday break. 7 teams have essentially shut down until that break is over. Move means at least 37 games need to be rescheduled. Now to a traffic update in Indianapolis. NDOT is closing part of New York Street. The department says it's because of upgrades happening with the North Split. Closure is going to last for about a week and will shut down New York Street underneath the interstate. That's the eastbound traffic. You should take Ohio Street instead. Anyone who's walking can take Vermont Street. New this morning, Senator Joe Manchin delivers a possibly fatal blow to President Biden's Build Back Better bill. West Virginia Democrat says he cannot support the $1.9 trillion plan, saying the bill hides its true cost. The decision has some Democrats pushing for a vote anyway, and others working on last-minute changes to try to save the bill. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki released a statement saying Manchin's latest comments are at odds with the talks he had with the president and the White House staff earlier in the week, and that Manchin had previously supported the framework. Statement goes on to say, the fight for the Build Back Better is too important to give up. We will find a way to move forward next year. Here in Indiana, volunteers with Meals on Wheels will start delivering emergency meal kits today. The group says the deliveries help make sure people are fed in case of severe winter weather that could happen over the next few months. The kits are free. They include non-perishable food and can hopefully hold people over until a meal service can resume if there is such a weather emergency. Representatives from Cunningham Restaurant Group are also helping with the deliveries. Meals on Wheels says the volunteers will deliver 400 emergency kits. Those are your top stories in today's News 8 Daily 8 podcast. Thanks for listening.
Sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.